Just for the one.
Oh,
Get,
So I prompted, where does it go? So if we have traffic.
and we're live. Okay. I'm going to call to order the November 4th, 2024 Evesham Municipal Utilities Authority meeting. Please read the opening statement.
Both adequate and electronic notice of this meeting pursuant to both the Open Public Meetings Act and Emergency Remote Meeting Protocol advise that local finance notice 2020-21 has been given by the Director of Finance, Deputy Executive Director of the Evesham Municipal Utilities Authority on October 16, 2024 in the following manner. Number one, emailing written notice of the Burlington County Times, Courier Post, and Central Record. Number two, posting written notice in the official Evesham MUA website. Number three, following written notice with the clerks of Evesham and Medford. Written notice was posted at the authority's business address located at 100 Truck Road, Marlton, New Jersey 08053 on October 16, 2024. This statement shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting.
Okay. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chris, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Here.
Mr. Dross,
Here.
Mr. Sweeney, not present. Mr. Schmidt,
Here.
Mr. Tenza,
Here.
Mr. Waters.
Here. Can I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the October 1st, 2024 meeting?
So second.
Okay, does anyone have any questions, comments, additions, or deletions? Oh, fine, I thought you had some. Seeing none, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Kipnis.
Aye.
Mr. Dross,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Abstain, I wasn't at that meeting. Public comment on agenda items only. Seeing no members from the public here, I'm going to close public comment. Financial resolution 2024-106, payment of bills. Can I have a motion, please?
So,
Second.
Okay, does anyone have any questions for Laura on the payment of bills? Okay, seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
aye.
Mr. Dross,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
I'm going to vote yes, except for purchase order 25-0065 for Florio, Perucci, and Steinhardt, as I have a indirect conflict of interest on. Okay, resolution 2024-107, refunds, credits, and cancellations. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Okay, does anyone have any questions or comments on that resolution? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Dross,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2024-108, authorizing advertisement for 2024 professional contracts. Can I have a motion? I'm sorry, 2025, I'm sorry.
So moved. Second.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments on that? Laura, do you have any changes on that?
No, it's just, I was just going to comment that
Oh, I'm sorry.
reappointment is February 1st. So this will start the process of advertising for proposals for our professional positions.
Thank you. And Kelly had a chance to review them all, or has reviewed them?
Well, we'll start working on them.
Once we get that.
Okay,
Once we receive them back from those prospective bidders.
okay. All right, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Dross,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Resolution 2024-109, award of one-year contract extension to CTX Infrastructure LLC for work zone traffic safety and traffic control in an amount not to exceed $100,000. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
Jim?
Yes, we used them last year. We had good luck with them. They were here every job we needed them for, and we decided we were going to extend their contract 1 year.
Okay, anybody have any questions?
Answer my question. We're happy with them.
Yes.
Seeing no questions, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Truck.
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye. Resolution 2024-111, authorizing competitive contracting process and advertising for proposals for cellular lease consulting. Can I have a motion, please?
So. I'll second.
Okay, please get this one.
The cellular lease consultant, it's a highly specialized position for the authority as they advise us on all matters regarding our leases for the intent of rents on our various properties. The local public contract laws allow us to use a competitive contract process for ranking proposals rather than just going out to bid and awarding to the lowest bidder. This resolution is requesting the use of the competitive contract process and also to advertise for proposals.
Okay, anybody have any questions for Laura?
Have we gotten in the past more than one bid?
Yes,
We do, okay.
yes.
And our current consultant, I didn't do the research to go back. Has he been with us more than 1 year?
He's been with us about 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, he is very knowledgeable, not just in negotiating leases, but he understands the market. And when to hold firm to the higher rent or when to make those adjustments. A lot of times and this is what led us to seek out a consultant 10 years ago. We'll receive letters, oh, we're going to terminate our lease with you, you charge too much. And we find out through him, because he understands the market, that that's not the case at all. So he has probably saved us thousands throughout the years with our leases.
Good, thank you.
Not only that, we're in the process of getting some significant work done on Lincoln Tower right now. He's been with us for a long time, ensuring that all the right things are moved in the right areas and all the proper language is used. It'd be great for us to hopefully get him back, but we'll see. Because he has the knowledge and he has the contacts of what we've already started.
But, we'll go out and see who, we'll rank everybody fairly and the methodology is contained in the bid document. So anybody that does submit a proposal, they'll know exactly how we're going to be assigning the ranks.
That's good.
Any other questions? Please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis.
Aye.
Mr. Truck.
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye. Resolution 2024-113, authorizing competitive contracting process for information technology consultant. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Laura?
So once again, it's like the cellular lease consultant, but in this case, it's for our IT. Highly specialized, so we don't want to necessarily just award to the lowest price proposal. We want to have the ability to rank them on different criteria and then make the best choice.
Okay. Anybody have a question for Laura?
Yeah, similar, our system doesn't limit the amount of what we have in-house in terms of being proprietary or anything like that, doesn't limit the competition.
If there, I don't know if it's proprietary, but a lot of the systems we have been put in through our current IT person. So somebody that would come to us new, they have to be able to show us what they could do to continue that. So yeah, it could be a little limiting, I think. But that's up to somebody who wants to bid on it,
Right.
to show us there's a better way and to submit a good proposal.
Laura, any chance we could extend the contract?
I'm sorry,
Any way we could extend the contract?
we have already.
Already.
We-
All right,
we're
so-
at the- We had two in the last contract, which we
There
awarded
goes
3
out.
years ago. We had 2 contract extensions and we've exhausted both of them.
Thank you.
And we did that for both the cellular lease and IT, and both companies held their prices. So for 3 years, they've held their prices.
Nice.
So I think, Mr. Kipnis, I'm sorry to interject, but I think the question you may have been asked, is there any conflicting software that one would need those other? No, there's really not. It's about how they're keeping us safe with the software that we have.
Okay.
So, can you explain again how this works where you're asking for approval to for competitive issues other than price.
Yes,
And
so
what-
price is a consideration and
Yeah.
it is part of the ranking evaluation. But there's other things that are considered also.
And that's a New Jersey state,
That's a local public contract.
a local public
allowance, Yes,
contract, and you can do that in New Jersey.
yes.
You don't have to necessarily be lowest bidder. You could be someone.
Not if we go through a competitive contracting process and for consulting, so. And it's not just any good or service that's allowed that we're allowed to do competitive contracting, but for consulting, that's one of them that we're allowed to do that for.
Okay, thanks.
Anyone else? Please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Drowe,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt, Mr. Kendra.
Aye.
Mr. Warner.
Aye. Resolution 2024-114, appointing authorized representative for NJID loan number 031-3001-004, Lincoln Drive Water Tower Rehabilitation Project. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved. Second.
So as Jeff mentioned, we're currently in the planning and design for the rehabilitation project at Lincoln Drive Water Tower, and we wish to file a loan application to the New Jersey, I think, Clean Drinking Water Program. The estimated cost of construction is about $3.5 million. And this resolution just authorizes me to be the point of contact with the New Jersey DEP and the New Jersey Infrastructure Bank for the project loan.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Laura? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Drowe,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mr. Kendra.
Aye.
Mr. Warner.
For next, I know we're gonna skip the presentation. Do I need to table that for now, or can we just go over it without?
I think we can just skip it for now. Kelly, do we have to table or can we just skip it for now?
No, you can skip it.
Skip it, okay.
Yep.
So we're gonna skip that. We're gonna move on to executive director's report, Jeff.
Actually, I'm happy to report that there are no violations for the month of October. However, we had an abundance of water main breaks. We had 9 in total. And out of that 9, we repaired 7 in-house. 2 of them we had to send to a third-party vendor only because we were already occupied with the other ones.
Jeff, was that due to the hydrant flushing?
Well, I'm a believer in, I'm not really much of a believer in coincidences, so we're definitely going to see, who or what may have been some of the reasons. 4 of these were in one neighborhood, 2 of them were in another neighborhood, and the other 2 were sporadic areas. So we're definitely looking into, we have the matrix to see who was flushing in the areas and what time. And obviously we couldn't prove any wrongdoing, but we would definitely like to speak with those, how they did it. Maybe something happened, what might have occurred, but like I said, I'm not a believer in coincidences, so I think there was way too many, especially when we were significantly down last month and everything has changed that we flushed hydrants, but we'll get to the bottom of it. We do know that our soil isn't the best, being Marlton is very acidic in the pipes. We don't really have much control what was put in the ground by our forefathers, but we're definitely working to for better solutions in the future. But again, I can report in our next meeting about any possible wrongdoing, although I don't think anything was mischievously done. It just might have been done improperly.
The newer employees possibly?
What's that?
The newer employees possibly?
Well, and when you say newer employees, we're about 75% new employees.
Yeah, it's true. I
So-
was looking at the last 5.
Yeah. Again, I don't think anybody is nefarious. I just think that, maybe re-education if that is indeed the same, in the case that this seems to be the same name popping up.
Bingo.
The actual mains that we had issues with, are they similar in terms of age?
Yeah, well, 4 of them were in country farms. Actually, 5 of them were in country farms. 2 of them were right next door here in Legacy Oaks, which is kind of rare. That's a fairly new system, but
Yeah.
when we see these mains and we go to repair them, other than the shear break, when we see holes in them, that's typically inductive of the soil conditions being marl and acidic, and or maybe an old bolt was left in the ground. It's just galvanic reaction rotting each other, each, metals that rotting them apart, creating a hole. And eventually when we start moving water in the volume that we move, loosens that up and decides to, peek its head out and create a water main break.
So Legacy Oaks is roughly, if I say 25 years old, does that sound right? Yeah.
Probably newer than that, maybe less than, I'm gonna say, actually,
I've been here 22 when it was built.
Yeah.
When I moved in.
I was gonna say, I've been here 22 as well, and they were still building on the back ends of it, so yeah, you're correct, 25 years.
Maybe think that's, this is kind of an indicator we're gonna have more issues out there. Legacy.
Well, not in Legacy Oaks, but we've also had in Green Lane Farms, which is also fairly new, backs up to Legacy Oaks. We've had, just one really bad road there that we've had multiple issues on this year. That is direct indication that there's a soil issue with it being marl. We have nothing going on at them times, Generally, we have water main breaks, it's the heaving, the frost, the deflection of the soil, contracting, we haven't really hit any temperatures that will cause that. Sudden movement hammers from water, if you stop water in a direction, it's what's called a hammer. And it has to relieve itself somewhere, and that's where the weakest point gets found. Other indications are when there's a fire in town and the misuse from a fireman who's anxious to get the fire out, a little too fast in his operations, things of that nature, or nefarious intent. They're really the main reasons. Soil is definitely one of the drivers, especially in this community.
Thanks. I'm just we had off of Shrub Road here, there was an EPA cleanup.
Yeah.
But I'm just visualizing how close is Legacy Oaks to. If I said brownfield, is that
It's a
accurate?
super.
No, it's just super fun.
It's
site.
just
Yeah.
a fun site. I'm just wondering,
Couple hundred yards.
I know all this and soil's tested and all that before there's any work that's occurring out there, but it's a couple hundred. I just.
So I think your question is, would the water be impacted? First, we have no wells impact area here of the Superfund site. I guess you're thinking if there's a break, could possibly leachate it in there, but a break is exhausting out, not withdrawing in.
Right.
So highly unlikely, we're at 4 feet, they're at significant depths for cleanup beyond that. And ironically, I just was involved in an email with someone from the EPA discussing that there's really zero potential impact for any crossover from the water system with that cleanup site. Which I thought was ironic because they were answering from a high rise in New York City.
Are the mains in this new development right here? Is that a dead end main that goes into that residential street right here?
No, it's loops. Everything that that is installed, I would guess somewhere from the 80s newer, we have a loop system on it. So the potential of somebody in Kings Ranch drinking water from a well next to our plant could very well happen. It's designed to continue to move, one big loop system, so that keeps stagnicity out of it.
Okay, all right, thank you.
It's not perfect, but that's how it's designed.
Yeah, I don't think the contaminant is corrosive to our piping either. I think Jeff's probably right in terms of the soil more than anything else.
Just
Yeah.
It's a high number.
Well, the same thing with, like you brought up Country Farms, its house is probably 35 years old, that whole neighborhood, and yet pipes are supposed to last, 90 plus years,
Yeah.
So the soil just ate it up.
Yeah, soil eats it up, and pipes integrity is supposed to last 100 plus years, and we're seeing values of 50, 60.
35.
So, yeah. And now with new regulatory, God knows what happens next.
Yeah.
So moving on, we had one discolored water, we attribute that to flushing. And we had 2 instances where folks had felt there was odor in their water. One was odors coming out of their trap, which is a sewer side of their water system. The other one was they felt that it was their cold water come from the kitchen sink, but we reduced that down to a hot water heater issue, and the hot water heater needs to be flushed. Speaking on flushing, we just finished up our hydrant flushing program. We flushed 1,602 hydrants. We flushed 15,052,311 gallons. Our average residual, which means chlorine residual, which means we're getting adequate disinfection throughout our pipe work, which is the idea of what we're trying to do. Our average disinfection was a 0.68. And we currently have 4 hydrants out of service, one of them which is private. We had an OSHA P-option inspection, a surprise inspection on October 11th, and the inspector had some minimus findings. An exit sign light needed to be replaced at the administration building. An exit sign needed to be replaced in our generator building. One of our hoists did not have an up-to-date inspection. And the room that hoist was in, he suggested that we declutter it. And we need to cover up an open grit system in our out front grit system, the pit that he felt that there needed to be gate on. All of which have been rectified already. We conducted a shared service confined space training and exercise scenario, had it held at our Stowe Road lift station. Our crews practice all the confined space protocols as well as the removal of a training mannequin as if it was a real person. We worked with the firemen, taught them what we know, they taught us what we know. Our staff, as a question Commissioner Tenza had asked us, our staff has completed AED training, thanks to the fire department as well with shared service. We also received first aid CPR training, and again, the proper use of AEDs, which are automated external defibrillators. And coming up on the 18th and the 19th, we'll all be going to AEA's fall conference in Atlantic City. If anyone has any questions, that's all I have.
Anybody have any questions for Jeff? Thank you, Jeff. Next up, engineers report. You're up.
All right, sorry, you want to agenda?
Yes.
It's not going the same order as you guys. All right, for South Side Water Storage Tank, we had no change in status on that project. Route 70 water main, the authority is currently determining the exact location of the force main nearest the Barnes and Noble to find the best location for connection of the new water main to that location. So that one's with you guys, if you wanna talk about that one at all.
No.
Okay.
The new water main on Route 70.
Yes.
So right now, the current water main is all installed, service connections are being completed. The contractor's looking to button up both ends, but there's discrepancy on our maps that where they're supposed to make one connection on the easternmost side of the water main, which is close to 73. The discrepancy is where the main is supposed to be is not. We spent some significant time out there with our folks trying to locate the main. It seems to be in the shoulder lane of the highway. We were hoping that it was going to be in the right of way in the grass frontage of Barnes and Nobles. So we're kind of stuck there. On Thursday, I had a company come out, well, not a company, association that we all belong to, New Jersey Water Environment Association, came out and they did what's called ground penetrating radar. We feel that we got some significant hot spots similar to where our folks have found it. And we're going to actually, we scheduled to do an exploratory dig there probably Wednesday or Thursday this week. Mark House will call in our crew. We're hoping we can dig down, physically see the main, be in the right of way of the grass, and tell them let's get it buttoned up. If not, we're looking at some significant change orders to continue the main to Center Boulevard.
And now we have Route 70 sewer main. There's no change in status for that project. Elmwood Treatment Storage Building. At this point, the floor slab has been poured, and the general contractor is working on erecting the building walls for the salt storage building, or the storage building. Well, number 6 building. There were some electrical issues identified with the replacement well pump. So we are currently working with a contractor and our electrical engineering department to determine the electrical upgrades that will be required to meet the new pumps requirements in that building. With the change in size of pump, there are some electrical components within the building that need to be updated to meet the new pumps requirements. And that goes for well number 6 re-drill. For Elmwood UV disinfection, we are currently in the process of receiving and reviewing shop drawings for the contractor, from the contractor. They expect construction to begin sometime in February or March. Onto Heritage Village Phase 3 water main replacement. P&A Construction has completed the water main change order work. They are expected to return this month to complete some concrete repairs. I believe all that's left there is some curbing. If one of you wants to correct me if I'm wrong there.
Yes.
So yeah, they'll be back this month to complete concrete repairs. For Sweet Gum Core, Cottonwood Drive.
They're coming in November, by the way, or December?
November.
Okay, thanks.
That is the same contractor and the same status update. They will be returning. I'm sorry, not for concrete, but P&A Construction will be returning for restorations. So the water main work is complete, but they still need to return for restorations of the site. Sinelli Farm Lift Station. Design is substantially complete for that project. We need to file the TWA. So all that needs to be done is signatures from the authority and the filing fee for the NJDEP. So we can talk about that after this. Coordinate getting signatures and filing for that. Onto Elmwood and Woodstream SCADA upgrades. We have approved all the shop drawings for that project. They are expecting, the contractor is expecting on-site work to commence this month. And I believe that's all I have for updates.
Resolution 2024-110, release of performance bonds for Sola Salons, 900 Route 73 North, Unit 926. Can I have a motion?
So
Second.
All right, does anybody have any questions for the engineer? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Dross,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr.
Aye. Motion to approve S3 for Meyer Contracting LLC 1001 Tuckerton Road. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Dross,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt,
Aye.
Mr. Tenza,
Aye.
Mr. Waters.
Aye. Next up, General Counsel's report. Nelly, do you have any? Yeah, I'm sorry, Mike.
Just a question for our engineer. This is kind of, I don't know why I didn't ask Wayne this. On the status report that we get each month, could Alimo add just for each one of the projects, what the estimated completion date is for the project? And it could be just by quarter, it could be like, second quarter of 2025. That would just be helpful for me. Because I'll go to the last page of the status report where we have percent to completion.
Yeah.
But I do sometimes when I look at the status, like there's a lot of stuff going on. I know we're close on some of these projects, but like even for like the Route 70 water main project, like because just driving Route 70 is like, when is this project gonna end? And like I know there's stuff going on, but I think it would be helpful for me just how I think, just to say, all right, this, we're looking at worst case scenario. Q2 of 2025, something like that.
Sure. Yeah, yeah,
That'd be helpful.
yeah, I'll talk about that with Wayne.
All right, I appreciate that.
Yeah, that'd be
Thanks.
great.
Yeah. You know, it was interesting. It's just something that I follow, just my it does. There are 5 over budgets of the 15 projects. There are 5 over budgets, and there are 5 under budgets, and there are 5 on budget. So on the whole, I mean, I didn't look at what the, the overs and unders were and all that, but on the whole, like, I guess they're on budget. If you want to take the average, 5 in one pocket, 5 in another, and 5 in another, just a little quirk of where they are, I guess.
Someday I'd actually like to see on December 31st or whatever, December 4th, like whatever the list is,
Mhm.
from there until the next year over year, how much of the original planned capital actually got put into the ground, actually got done?
Good question.
I'll bet it's between 60 and 65%. Rest just slips.
You know what they
There's
say.
no prioritization for it. So
Stop
prices
at
go
it.
up.
I hear you.
It's,
That might be something we might be able to do for you in-house rather than engineering. We go talk about what our planned budget is year after year and exactly what is completed part of that.
if we monitor it, it's, a measurement, and we work with, contractors, engineering, firm, Limo works with contractors, try and, make a measurement. I don't know what we can do about it because it doesn't affect anybody's ability to bid next time. But there's a stark difference in, well, in others, if they're that poor performance, I guess, perhaps, but if they're close, it's
It's an indicator.
an
Good,
indicator.
bad, or indifferent.
But private industry, private water companies, they're all 100%, right to the
Profit,
penny.
correct.
That's their sole motivation. They're driven by how much capital they get in the ground. Because the rates are based on approving that. So every municipal across the country, I don't know of one I came across in 10 years that is even above 90%. So prices just go up, they just suffer inflation. It's just not part of the constructs and drivers. It's just an observation. You brought
Like
it
that,
up.
right, it's okay.
I don't know, Chairman Waters, if we could just go back, I'll do the best I can on that presentation.
Okay. Do we want to have Kelly do her report real quick? Well,
If you wish, but she might, we might need her.
okay, you ready for that, Kelly?
Oh, yeah, but however you want, of course.
Okay. Go ahead, Jeff.
Chris, yeah.
Say it again, Ed, I'm sorry, you're looking for me for the report. I'm good for tonight. I don't have anything to add.
Oh, there's your report.
Well, well.
Me specifically, this is new. I know about this one.
Did anything happen as a result of our discussion about filing certain paperwork the last month?
Yeah, sure, that we could talk about, we would probably best to talk about that in closed session.
Okay.
If you like, but I can briefly say that we did have a hearing, but the judge reserved decision, so we're waiting for the decision, so I have no update
Okay.
specifically right now.
Okay, thank you.
Sure, of course.
Okay, so I'm stepping in here for Jennifer Harris. He's an engineer for Environmental Resolution Incorporated. They are the engineers that we tasked with our nitrate removal from our Wood Stream wastewater facility, which is a regulatory mandated removal of nitrates that was supposed to take effect earlier this year in, I believe it was February. So we chose this particular product.
Pointed at this.
So a little background, this is our Wood Stream wastewater treatment facility. Flow comes in this direction. It goes through our grit and screens removal, which is another project that you folks had authorized us to upgrade. This is severely dilapidated, needs a major overhaul, but that's not part of this project. Flows into various pits and chambers into this building. And then into our surge tank, this is what's called surge tanks, and we have uneven flows. Everything kind of goes there, equalizes its way out to our treatment facilities. This is treatment plant number 1, and this is treatment plant number 2. After it goes through the treatment plant process, it ends up going to what this is called the biofor building, which is an ammonia scrubbing and tertiary treatment process. So removal of ammonia is out to our stream. These are just what we call mud and clear wells. The mud well is no longer in existence. The clear well is where everything goes prior to our UV disinfection facility there, out to our receiving stream, which is the Pennsauken Creek. So because we have a nitrate removal limit of 0.13 or 13, I believe it is, we had to come up with a solution. Our current nitrates are anywhere between 16 to 27 on any given day. So the state had regulated that we need to meet 13 mandate. So through various discussion, various trials, various input from a lot of folks, we decided on a solution is from the Wave, it's a company called Wave Tech. But basically, this is the nitrogen cycle. You start in, it's fish waste. Our waste turns into ammonia. Ammonia obviously smells like cat urine for those who don't know. The cycle continues and becomes beneficial. Bacteria converts ammonia to nitrate, helps the other bacteria. All these microorganisms feed off of one another and create different bacteria. Into ammonia nitrification, into nitrification NO2 and NO3 to denitrification. Everything benefits from one part of nitrate to another nitrate through the whole cycle. But in the end, nitrate is removed through water change. In the past, we didn't have to meet these nitrate limits. They were just for reporting only, not regulatory. But now we have to meet this compliance. So we came up with a solution with this Wave Tech. And this is basically what it's going to be. Again, this is plant number 1, plant number 2. We're going to have what's called anoxic zones, which converts then nitrates to ammonias to nitrates to from nitrate to nitrates, the biological process out the door. So we're going to feed it in one sense to nitrate, and then we're going to remove it in the back end. And these are all cells that we put in place. These lines, the smaller lines are the air tubes towards them. This is an anoxic zone. It will be a mixer zone. Same up here where there's no air tubes, will be anoxic zones where that nitrate will be consumed as before it goes out to the stream. So the Wave Tech unit, what it is, this is essentially what it'll look like. This will be on the bottom of our tanks, our treatment tanks. All them smaller cells that these are what these will be. These guys here on the air tubes. So these trains will be in place on the bottom of our tank with air lines running through them. And these are like a stainless steel mesh. And what they'll do as the bacteria and everything goes through there, the microorganisms will eventually create a biomass. And, as it creates the biomass, the media is a place for it to grow. The aeration of an anoxic zone allows nitrification and denitrification to occur in the same tank. So we are able to do all this in the current footprint that we have, or at least that's our hope, that we can remove everything in the current footprint that we have. I know Commissioner Tenza and Commissioner Druss had saw this unit last year when we went away, and we actually met the representative about how the system actually works. And with the system, if you recall, we've had discussions about guarantees. So we have some really good solid guarantees in place that this works. And so we're going to go ahead and we're asking you folks to, if we can advertise, if ERI can advertise for bids to start the construction process on this, but this is the design that you folks have already agreed to. Hopefully that covered some of it. I know I wasn't prepared for that whatsoever, but.
Not bad for them.
If you have any questions, I'll try and answer them best I can.
I'm trying to think of any rationale back then. I forget. I probably asked you at the show, like,
That was well explained at the show.
what's that?
It was well explained at the show.
Well, I wasn't paying attention then.
Okay.
Is that what you're implying? Mr. Ten?
The guarantee, is to beat that limit by, I think, 5. So we're looking at an 8 to a 10 residual in the end that we should be able to meet. with this current unit.
And 13's the
13 is the standard, the regulatory
Standard.
standard.
good.
So what was the alternative technologies cost, that kind of thing?
We looked at sand filters, we just didn't, we honestly, we don't have the footprint to do alternative means.
Yeah,
We would really have to go into the wetlands buffers and more permits, more regulations and. Because of the footprint we're in, kind of limited to, this is brand new technology to the United States. And we went through the TWA process, treatment works approval. And they did their 90-day review. We got it back on the 89th day, 23rd hour. With no questions. It's very rare with today's regulatory environment, so. They pitched it pretty good to the powers to be at the regulatory agencies, they're okay with us moving forward with this.
okay. So third-party technical agreement, vendor guarantees. You're constrained on footprint. Nothing
Yeah.
else out there would do it without a lot more regulatory oversight.
I would love to, not have them met these requirements, because quite frankly, I don't feel that we should, but that's a little different story.
Is it an international company?
Yeah, but from Canada, yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay, we got a resolution 2024-112, authorizing advertisement for bids for contract stabilization tank upgrades at Woodstream wastewater treatment plant. Can I have a motion, please?
Second.
Any questions before we vote? Please call the roll.
Mr. Kipnis,
Aye.
Mr. Drury,
Aye.
Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mr. Tenza.
Aye.
Mr. Waller.
Aye. Public comment, seeing no one from the public in attendance. I'm gonna close public comment. Board comments. Byron, why don't you start us off?
I'm just looking forward to the AEA conference, New Jersey. And thank all the professionals for, a great job everybody does. Nobody knows that you do it in the public, but we do.
I was gonna say something.
They need to drink water.
Thank you. Mr. Kipnis?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Jeff for stepping in and making that presentation. Appreciate that. And I did see a couple of things that I didn't ask earlier. Our revenue stream through the first quarter seems to be quite nice. Again, just straight lining, we're a little off on the sewer expenses. We're only in through a quarter, and it's now 31% of our expenses of the budget. And I know you don't straight line it, so I'm just kind of eyeballing it to take a look at it.
So a big part of that is the debt service, because that all gets charged day
Upfront.
one of the
Okay.
fiscal year. So you're going to see, if things continue to go
Flat
well, it should start to level. out.
Okay, okay, great. Well, good work. I'd like to thank everybody who's working hard to keep us going.
Mike?
Just, thank you to our employees and professionals and what we do every day. Thanks.
George?
Well, I'd like to thank Mr. Schmidt and Mr. Kipnis as the financial committee that watches over things for us. I appreciate it. Lori always do a great job. And again, as I say, to our professionals, our administrative, our operating group, supervision, they're all doing a great job. Management, they're always doing a great job. I for one, appreciate it. And looking forward to APA, because always learn something really good down there.
Yep.
All right. I'll let you know from one AP's mother.
Don't worry, George will take copious notes for you.
I'm sure.
You better pay attention because it'll challenge you.
Okay, I wanted to recognize a longtime employee here who recently passed away, Jim Williamson. I would like to have a moment of silence for Jim. He's been here, was here for a long time, and his son actually still works with us. So we can have a moment of silence. Okay, I too am looking forward to AEA. Looking at the agenda, they've got a really, really fantastic agenda. I know one thing that stuck out to me, a friend of mine, Ray Bukowski, was the former assistant commissioner at the NJDEP. He's been, he works for New Jersey Resources, and he's going to be doing a presentation on purchasing the sewer plant gases to turn into renewable natural gas and its potential stream of income for sewer authority. So it's something that I'm certainly gonna be interested in looking at, and along with all the other stuff that I think that the AVA is putting together. They always put together a great conference. Again, thank you to the staff, always doing a great job. We appreciate the executive staff, the professionals, especially Chris, who keeps me honest here in these meetings. And Kelly and everybody. So our next meeting will be on Wednesday, December 4th at 7 p.m. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.